You know, we've had a lot of heavy rain here in the southeast over the past year, and at times that can make fishing tough. But this week, I'm fishing with JR in the river, smallmouth fishing. The river's high, the water's swift, but we have a good day. Sit back and enjoy. I know you're going to like it.
You know, you can search this whole world over, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a more beautiful place than these mountains we call home. Here in the Smoky Mountains, we have a saying, if you're lucky enough to live in these mountains, you're lucky enough.
Then I was really hooked. If you need to try to find me now on the waters where you looked. Now I fished all over this great land in all kinds of fishing holes. Caught every kind of fish there is with every kind of pole. If there's one thing I have learned in life, it's always fish the hatch. And the best fish you will ever land might be the next one that you catch. So I'm somewhere fishing out in God's great outdoors, admiring all his handiwork, sitting just off of some shore. With a good bass boat beneath me, rod and reel in my hand. God is great, the fishing's good, and I'm a lucky man. God is great, the fishing's good, ain't I a lucky man?
I'm Tony, and we're here with JR, our river guru today.
Yeah.
Man, what is it? Every time we get together, it's freezing cold. Freezing
Only bring
cold.
you on the cold days.
Only bring me on the cold days. Man, we're going to have a tough day today, aren't we? I mean, river conditions are just not the best.
Water's flowing almost 7,000 ccfs today, so
So it's rolling.
a little challenge.
So we're even having to use the big motor plus the trolling motor to try to hold the boat in the perfect area. And what that does is when the water's moving this fast, it pushes those fish right up on the bank. And then of course you know what that's like when you got trees and everything on the bank, but you got those fish laying in there. It's hard to make that cast in there when your boat's moving so fast. So
It is.
we're going to give it a try, and we're going to have to try several different baits today, aren't we, JR?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. It's certainly not going to be a normal day that we can come up here and just lay in on them and
Just
start,
whack
you know.
'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
Now-
But we're going to adapt.
Now, the thing about this area here, of course, we're primarily after smallmouth, but we can catch some largemouth. We can probably even catch a walleye or a rainbow trout, can't we?
Lots of trout in here.
Lots
yeah,
of
lots
trout.
of trout.
We'll give it a shot and see what we can do. We're throwing a little bigger baits right now just because this water's moving so strong. Throwing Strike King spinner bait, just a 3/8 white spinner bait's what I'm throwing, and JR's throwing one that's a little bit smaller. But we'll be throwing swim baits and just a lot of different things today.
Yeah, I'm going to let you throw a spinner bait. I'm going to throw these little rage swimmers, Strike King rage swimmer in a 2.8.
Right.
And they're going to eat. I mean, we just got to figure out, number one, we
See,
got to
they just
figure out,
They just caught one there in front of us.
Right.
Looked like a pretty good smallmouth.
but we got to figure out, number one, what size head. And every time you come up here, it's different. But you got to figure out, like if you're going to throw a swim bait, you got to figure out what size head is going to get it down into the water column to where the fish
Right,
are.
especially when the water's moving this
Yes.
fast.
Be a lot of dead sticking today. And what I mean by dead sticking, you know, you can't just throw your bait out there and just constantly crank it back. What you're going to end up doing is chunking that thing out there and letting it hit the current and just letting the current take
let
it.
it drift.
You know, yeah. And
Or
what
crank
happens?
a little bit, let it fall.
Yeah,
Crank
and
it-
see, when we have these deep, really cold nights like this, it
Right.
shocks these shad that's in the river, makes them lethargic, so they're coming down through there the
They
same
just kind
way.
of flutter down through
Yeah.
there sometimes. Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're going to have to be doing. There's one just broke, chasing some shad. There's one.
You got one? Get out of your way.
Breaking the ice.
Breaking ice.
he bit that thing, and all I was doing, I threw back upstream,
Right.
and I was just dead drifting it, dead sticking it down through there. And it finally got down in the water column. Not a giant, but I'd say we'll take several of these today, as tough as it's going to be. Caught him, that's that little rage swimmer, little,
Right.
you know,
Little
2.8.
yeah.
Hang on, we'll be right
Wow.
back with more great fishing action.
Pretty little
Thank
fish.
you, little feller.
Yeah.
Welcome back to some great fishing action with the
Yeah.
Smoky Mountain
All right,
Outdoorsman.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Uh-huh.
Hey, lip that thing for me, JR.
I got a better idea.
How about I just put him in the
You
boat?
gonna boat flip him?
He's right.
Alright.
He's here.
Keeper. It's a nice fish.
You gonna keep him?
Yeah. Sharon will eat that, won't she? Pretty good one. Not what we came after, but it'll work, won't it? Oh. Go back and get another one, man.
Well. We'll see. We'll see here. Yeah, I'm hung up. Yeah,
Another walleye.
yeah.
Pretty fish. I don't think he'll make it. Oh yeah, 15 and a half.
Well, this has turned into a walleye show. Yeah,
Hey.
that's the right color. That's the right color. That's the right color.
Told you I just need to take my coat off, right?
Yeah.
Pretty fish.
Yeah. It's hard for you to do your laying down trick with rods everywhere. Ain't it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
You should have just boat flipped that little thing anyway.
Oh, shut up. Well, I don't know. He ain't that little.
I'm joking with you. That's a nice fish. Especially today.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
We'd take several more just like him.
What are keepers? 15?
Yes.
He's not 15, is he?
No.
He is. Got one?
I got one.
Got one? Got one.
Come here, big fella.
Do you want me to lip it for you?
Yeah.
That sun feels good, don't it, Jar?
Yeah, it's starting to warm up.
I got one. Let me
Look
get
at
out
it.
of your way.
That's
Well,
a
he's
pretty
shaking
one.
a little. I'm in. I'll help you.
Yeah, I might need a little help on this one. Well, he came As soon as I set that hook in him, man, he comes straight out. Oh,
Wow,
yeah, that's
a good
one.
fish.
He feels good on this little lose. This is a light.
You got him on the light.
Yeah.
Well, you.
Okay. He come right off that corner too. Man, can't do nothing with him.
It's kind of hard coming against
He's
the
not
current.
he's not that big. I just can't do much with him.
Coming against that
Get him
current.
on it. Keep his head up. You got him.
I'm getting there.
Oh man.
Hang
Got him
on,
on
we'll
that
be
little
right back
sausage
with
head.
more fishing on
Strike King
Smoky
sausage
Mountain
head.
Outdoorsman.
Jig head, and I just tied some hair on it, just something a little
Yeah.
different.
This is the Bass Chaplain, and I hope to see you on the road.
Hey, Chris Wells here, the Bass Chaplain. You know, the other day I was riding down the highway and I heard on the radio that a geologist had found one of the largest diamonds ever found. It was one of the most perfect diamonds ever. It's a really cool deal. Hey, let me tell you, the way a diamond is formed is a lump of coal is put in the ground by God, and then over time and pressure, God turns it into the perfect gem he wants to do. Let me tell you, in your life, a lot of times we think time and pressure is a bad thing. But God can use time and pressure in our lives to make us into the people that he wants us to be. Give God time in your life. This is the Bass Chaplain. I hope to see you on the road.
Hey guys, we're going to show you real quick what we're using today. Just using this little 2.75 Rage swimmer made by Strike King. You know, these shad up here, they're getting their winter coats on, so they're starting to get that real bright, brilliant white, unlike they do in the summertime. But just going to take and put it on this little screw lock head. And the main thing you want to do is to make these things run true. You have to really make sure that you get going down into the head of this bait correctly right out of the gate. And then once you get it back through there, it's threading it up through. And these Strike King, these little Rage swimmers have a cut in the back of them here. And you want to bring that hook right up through the back of them, about a third or just a little over a third of the way down. And what that does, the further you get it back here, the less action you're going to have with the bait. So I try to get it even, you know, as close to the head of this bait as I can to give myself, to give it proper action, or actually more action. And then with this screw lock, you just push it up on there, and then you're just going to take and just turn it 3 or 4 times, enough to get that bait right up, snug it up against the lead head. And then, you know, obviously you're going to take and just pull it back out and make sure everything's correct and straight. And that's the way, that's the best way we found to rig these little Rage swimmers. And you know, they're really a good bait up here in the river. These smallmouth really like them. So there you go, the correct way to rig those things. Fish on, fish on. Oh, there he comes out.
Fish on. You wearing me out, son.
I've dropped down and went to just a little bit lighter head.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He ain't no giant, but
No.
I'll boat flip him. I got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
He's brown though, ain't he?
Yeah. That's one thing. I mean, you know, you just got to be, everything changes, you know, every day is different. But you can see I've put a little couple split shots here and went to a 16th ounce head, just trying to mimic a lethargic shad coming down through there, just floating. And it's just a little, this is a, you know, these are these Strike King heads, and I just took and tied some, you know, some bucktail on it,
Right.
you know, to try to mimic these
and
small
you put a little
shad.
split shot above
That's
it
right.
because the water's moving so much. You need a little more weight.
Yeah, and to cast it too. You know, it helps me
yeah,
a little with my casting distance.
What you got on our 8-pound cigar?
8-pound cigar, but in this current, they turn sight. Man, he is leaving here.
He is gone, isn't he?
I didn't think that fish was that big.
But you're in the current, and you may not. He may be bigger than you think he is, and not
He's
know
up.
till you get into the boat.
He's pretty good.
You just let me know which side you come. I see you back there in the wash now.
I'm gonna try to get him behind the boat, let him get in that slack.
You gonna bring him over here?
I am. If I can keep his head up.
Can you tell how big he is yet?
Oh, he's probably only 16 or so. He's just, some of them meaner than others, I believe.
Like go back the other way?
Some of them got a little Ridley in them, some of them not, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as little as I thought he was. There you go.
Oh, dude, you did good over that. You got me excited here.
I don't know, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, these hooks, though, get in the corner of their jaw.
Yeah, they do.
And
it's a nice fish, though.
That's a nice fish right there.
It's close to 17, I'd say. Close to a
I'd say
keeper
so.
size.
I'd say so. Yeah, let's put it.
Let's get another one. Leave him in the gene pool. Well, he about swallowed it, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm gonna lift him in here.
Now back to more fishing action.
That's on that
Smoky
old
Mountain
crooked hook too,
Outdoorsman.
man. Oh, there went a shad. Made him give up a little bit of his grub this morning.
Yeah.
That a boy.
That's what I need. Can't say they're getting bigger, but that's a little growed up.
What was you saying?
Here, swap with me. Let me
Here, you
have
can
that.
reel it in. I don't care.
Let me have that.
I don't care.
Well, JR, you know your day's pretty bad
When
When-
you reel in another man's fish.
when your buddy catches the fish and he hands it to you.
What about this one you just handed me?
Oh no! That is bigger than one.
Oh goodness.
Look at it. Daggone it.
Man, it's been fun today.
Yeah.
All right.
What a way to end the day.
No giants. A lot of nice small fish. It was very
Yeah.
difficult.
Very difficult.
Very difficult.
Very difficult.
We had to downsize, and they're still breaking.
Stay tuned for the Team Smo review.
JR, as we end up today, let's tell the folks at home a little bit about our equipment. First of all, we needed Fish Monkey woolly gloves this morning. It was like 28 degrees, really cold. We were bundled up. Then it started to warm up just a little bit.
Yeah.
We were able to come out some things, but we kept those gloves on. And our lose equipment today, we use this Orange Crush, and but my favorite reel, probably one of my favorite reels of all time, is this new Team Lose Custom reel. It's probably my favorite. Probably threw it more today than anything. We won't go into all the rods and everything because we use different rods today, different actions. But mostly what we use were a medium to a light action.
Medium
wasn't it?
light, yeah,
Medium
sure.
to light action. JR, tell us a little bit about some of the different baits we use today.
Yeah, so as you see the little walleye series rod you picked up here, it's got this little, and basically all it is just a little bucktail fly. We started out catching them this morning on the little 2.75 Rage Swimmer.
Right.
And then
you showed us how to rig that bait during the show.
Right. And then they got really picky, and they do that up there every, all the time when they start breaking and start keying in on those really small shad. You really got to downsize, even to like these little Mr. Crappy baits right here. This little Water Marshall 2-inch lightning shad. That's what we kind of ended the day on.
Right.
Is catch them on that really small stuff, and you think, well, those are smallmouth. They're not going to.
Even when those fish started breaking, we had to still use the smaller stuff, and we threw some other things. I threw a spinner bait a little bit, a Strike King spinner bait, and And the swimmers weren't really that effective for us today.
Right.
They just wanted something smaller.
They did. And the cool thing about this little sausage head that Strike King makes, it's got barbs on both sides,
Right.
so it holds it up on there. And when you're able to tie a little bucktail to
You
it,
can even tie your own fly
that's
with it.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And it's got a great little hook in it, little bend hook in it, you know, a little holder. And man, it's just a great little head, especially for the technique we were doing today, tight lining.
Well, I tell you what, it got tough on us today. It was real out there today. See you, my buddy.
See you, buddy.
Till next week, may God bless you.
Thank you, guys.
This is Jim Bowman thanking you for watching this week's episode of the Smoky Mountain Outdoorsman. Remember, make some real memories. Take a child fishing. See you next time on SMO.